welcome to another episode of Conscious Straight Talk with Katie and Lindsey.
Hi, I'm Katie Hutchinson, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm also a certified mediator. And today, I look like Minnie Mouse.
Because this is going to be the weekend of love, right?
It's going to be the weekend of something.
I'm Lindsey Kearns. I'm the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com, and I'm also a conscious trauma-informed life coach. So today we wanted to invite you to join our conversation on the five love languages.
The 5 languages of love. Yes.
We figured with Valentine's coming up and, you know, it just
Everything
kind of being
that's
winter.
going on.
Yeah, we've all been
It's time to talk
stuck.
about it.
Yeah, it's a good thing to be aware of. I love the concept. It's a fascinating concept.
This is the time of year when for Valentine's Day. It is a holiday, a Hallmark holiday, should we say.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are very depressed about this holiday, and then there's people that are happy.
But then there's also the people that are within these relationships that are feeling more alone than ever.
I've always said that. If you're in a lonely relationship, you're lonelier than being alone.
Yeah.
So get out of it. And
but
we'll go
this
over
is
that
why-
at a different time.
This is why the five love languages are so important.
Yes.
Right?
So the 5 love languages are just that. They're the way that we receive love and the way that we give love. And lots of times we don't let our partners know. And it can be our friends. It can be our children, although they don't really listen. But it can be your family members.
Yeah.
It can be
even
anything.
people at work, when you're in long-term
yeah.
jobs, you know,
Yeah.
that is a type of a relationship.
No, totally.
And it is important to be understanding
It
of
totally
those other
is.
people.
My next door therapist, dear friend, I call her my work wife.
Yeah.
And so it is a relationship.
Yeah.
And
And I love this concept. So in 1992, Dr. Gary Chapman released this book called The Five
Languages
of
of
Love.
Love.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're better at the book titles than I
I
am.
think that's right. I could be wrong.
But it was, and I believe I want to say he was in a practicing marriage counselor,
He for sure was.
relationship for probably close to 30 years before
Yeah.
he came to these
Yeah.
conclusions and shared all of this with us.
Right.
And I think it's really important for us to stop and take this time to say, okay, look, these are the 5 ways that people give and receive. This is what I like. What is my partner like? Because I might be doing things that I want. You know, we all live under that golden rule: treat
Yes.
others as you wish to be treated.
Right.
Well, in this case, that does not apply.
No, you have to ask them, you have to communicate, and sometimes you have to communicate over and over and over again of what you need and ask them what they need.
Because
What
I think it's
makes them
important.
feel good, and also pay attention. Sometimes they don't know how to articulate what they
Right.
need, so it's really important to ask, to notice,
Yeah.
just to be intuitive if you can.
And I know couples get caught in modes where they're not, and they're hurting each other without even realizing it. You know, I'm
Without
thinking,
even
I'm
talking
giving
about
her what she needs. Why isn't she giving it back to me? I'm getting frustrated. She must not like
Right.
me. Screw this.
I always go by, I'm modeling
And you get in
this. Why
trouble.
aren't they modeling it back to
Yeah.
me? So one thing that I always have a story. One thing I want to say here is one of my best friends that I absolutely adore, and I've known her for 25 years. And one thing that I do every year is I love gifts. And I actually love to give them more than I like to receive them. So every year I start to get a gift ready for her. It gets to be March, but her birthday's in April. I like to be prepared. I start wrapping the gift, getting all excited, and then I talk to her and say, you know, I can't wait for your birthday, blah, blah, blah. I got you something. She's like, no. She's very straightforward. No, don't get me anything. I want to do something together. Let's go to Katsuya for lunch or dinner. You pay. And I go, okay. I go, I'll pay. Fine, great. So we go, because she wants an activity, and I want to give her a gift. So we go to Katsuya, and I still wrap the gift because I'm crazy like that. So there's an example.
But that's a perfect example of you are giving what is important to you, but not realizing that she needs something different.
Or I realize it, but I still want to give her that darn gift.
Yeah, which you can do, but you know, it's important as we discuss relationships to be understanding of the other person. And what I love about that is you're like, all right, I'm just going to do it all.
I do it all, and I go to
just gonna do it
Katsuya. I go to Katsuya. Okay,
And that's love.
That's love.
So let's go over these love language. What's
Yes.
the first one?
The first one is words of affirmation. So these are verbal acknowledgments. So this would look like this. Oh, Lindsey, oh my gosh, your hair looks so pretty today. It looks so full.
Aww.
And I love your lipstick. It's so pretty and pink. I guess why I
maybe
really
that's
love
how
it.
she brought me the lipstick.
That's true. That's true.
But all joking aside, that one simple comment, if I'm someone that words of affirmation are my love language, that's all I need for the day. That fills up my cup and makes me feel great.
Yes, yes. And one thing I want to add is I don't know about you, but one love language doesn't cut it for me. And I need different ones from different people.
But I think usually each of us have a tendency to have one more in particular.
Yes, that's true.
We all need these things, but if there's one missing from there, our most important, then it's going to not work for us.
Our highest priority.
Yeah. So the next one is acts of service. And at first when I saw this in his book, I was like, what? I'm doing the military? What is wrong with these people? But it's not that. It's actually just when your partner does things regularly to make your life easier. And I was like, ooh.
Okay, so I'll give an example of my ex-husband again. One thing that he used to do is I was an avid tennis player, and most men don't do this, and of course I didn't realize in the moment that this was a really nice thing to do. But he would realize that I was going for a tennis match. He would start my car so the air conditioning was on because it's 1,000 degrees out here in the summer. And he would load up all of my tennis gear. He would put all my waters and get all my Gatorades and everything together so that I was all ready to go. All ready to go. All I had to do was get in the car. It was already 65 degrees, 100 degrees outside, and I had to go. Did I appreciate it at the time? Not at all.
See, now I would totally. I think that's an amazing, that sounds heavenly.
Yes.
But I understand being busy in that moment and not being cognizant of love languages.
Never was thankful until now.
Yeah, and of the communicating with each other,
yes,
you know?
Yes.
That's really important. That's a great story.
Okay, so this one is, I'm just going to say it because I'm the one that's the leader of this, is receiving gifts.
Or giving.
Or giving. Well, that's what I was just going to say.
I
was going to say receiving or giving. For me, I like to give more. I just love it. It gives me so much joy. Yeah. And I was saying before, and I think you've been to my house at Christmas time, there's a Christmas tree. Oh, yeah. And around the Christmas tree, there's at least 75 to 100 gifts.
Resale side.
Yes. Now, this is not because I'm rich. This is not because I'm rich. This is because I have spent the next 3 months of my paychecks. And so for the next 3 months, I'm struggling. Yep.
Yes, but we talked about that earlier this year.
I'm working
on
that.
Make it better.
It's another thing I'm working on. It's a work in progress.
Make it better. So this next love language
is one that you really like, right?
It is one that I love, and interestingly enough, it's actually the most popular one. In studies that have been done on this, they say people tend to like quality time.
Didn't you say it was like 89%?
89% of people have a tendency to have the love language of wanting to spend time together.
Right.
Doing an activity, they're happiest when their partner is always down to hang out and be together.
Yes. Okay. And one thing that I read that I think is really important is it said couples just need one thing that they enjoy together. This does not mean that you need to get on a horse and ride 10 miles a day together.
Yeah. Well, every relationship is different because I know the couple that is still disgustingly in love and been married for 40 years and they are literally together every day, all day. They run a business together, they have kids together, they run a house together. Do you actually know
somebody like that?
I know a lot of people like that, actually.
I don't.
And I also know the other spectrum, the single people who are alone, and then I know the people in the middle who are just kind of miserable existing, living on autopilot.
That's like 40%.
And
but,
so,
I mean, I'm sorry, it's 20% of the 40% that are still married.
Yeah.
But, this article told me that all you have to do, okay, so if you run the business and you can do all that and you don't hate your partner, awesome. Okay, but for the rest of us normal people, all you have to do is do something small. Have a coffee together or tea in the morning. Read the newspaper together. Does anybody read the newspaper? No, they don't.
They read their
phone.
Yeah.
Talk about the gossip about the people that were there the night before. It's nice
finding
to do.
a common point of interest that the two of you can start to do together.
And it can be small. Watching a Netflix show together. Walking
a 5-minute walk.
A 5-minute walk. Walking around the block.
Yeah. Or making drinks together or cooking together.
Totally. Having a glass of wine together.
That's what I do with my kids. I make them come and cook with me.
At
the end of the day, it's nice to all be in the kitchen. I like it too,
but they're messy and I don't like that.
Oh, they're very messy.
They're very messy.
I can wait for that.
You're nice. You're sweet. Okay, so the last one is physical touch.
And that's definitely mine. I don't survive without that.
Right.
When I'm within a relationship, I need to have not even just the holding of the hands or the kiss, even public or not public, I don't, whatever. But for me, it's more in the morning and at night, having that closeness time. Feeling him be around me, near me, touching me, rubbing my back or me rubbing his back. That touch is so important, especially as we're talking about sleep and becoming healthier. There's a reason that we are not designed to be alone. We pick up that energy exchange between each other, and that helps us. We need that.
And it could even be putting your foot on top of the other person's foot.
Sure.
I don't know about
Yeah,
you, but
it's
I don't
just
like
the
to
touch.
hold. I don't like to hold somebody, and I don't want to be held. I've got things to do at night,
Sure.
like move all around and talk to people in my sleep. So I also, one other thing is, it doesn't have to be a person, and this is so important.
You're right.
I have a tripod dog. He lost his leg the
We
other
love the tripod.
a couple of months.
But he's actually
a couple weeks ago.
He's actually happier now.
He is an awesome tripod. Anyways, I love holding his
Yeah.
tripod body up against mine and feeling his heart against mine, and that calms me down.
And that's where we come into the therapy animals. They're so important.
Oh, so important.
And it's the physical touch.
That's true. Now I
Yeah.
want to give you another story because I've got stories. Okay, so I had a nutritionist in my 30s, and she was very kind of gruff, but loved her. And I remember saying to her, I just had my second baby. I have 3 and all. I just had my second baby, and I was like, and I'm very honest, and I said, oh, I just have no desire to have sex with my husband. Like, I just want to puke when I look at him. All I want to do is just nurse the baby. I never want to have sex again. It's like the most disgusting thing ever. I have just no desire. And she goes, Katie, get your shit together. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she was like, you got to do it. And I go, well, how often? She's like, at least once a week. 2 would be better. And I go, but how? And she goes, I don't care what you think about. Stare up at the ceiling and think about all the things you want to organize or you want to buy together. Just do it. And I was like, do I have to? And she goes, yes, you have to. And then I started thinking, and I was like, you know what? Men need physical
do that.
touch. Not
Yeah.
all of them, because we're all different, but most of them need physical touch. And a perk to this is, guess what? Then they'll do things for you. Like hang the pictures that have been sitting there for a year.
Now,
You know
see,
what I
I'm
mean?
on the opposite end of that spectrum. Because I needed to be touched. Like, I made my husband a lot with me during pregnancy and afterwards.
Well, pregnancy, yes, because
I
you've got hormones going
I
on.
wouldn't even let him leave in the hospital when I had the baby. He crawled into bed and, like, I need to be
Would
touched.
have sex with you?
Not have sex, not after, well, not those early
Oh,
days.
no,
but
that's, yeah. That's
I mean, we
going
waited
on.
at least until the second night of being home. No, but seriously, I
Her
needed...
stitches probably popped
I
out, but
needed...
no big deal.
Well, that's why I got pregnant again so quickly,
Exactly.
I guess.
Me too.
But I need to be touched. I need to feel that physical connection for me. And it's not just about actual sex, the act of sex.
No, it's about that
touching
emotional
and-
connection.
yeah.
And I think that's so important to say. But for most women, and I'm not saying that this
Oh,
can't
not
happen
everybody's
for
different.
men.
Yeah.
But for us, we have to feel emotionally connected to want to have sex. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As women, usually, not always. So, yeah.
Well, it makes the experience that much better.
Well, it makes me want to
I think.
puke if I'm not feeling emotionally connected.
So we have a little challenge for you guys this weekend.
We do?
If you are in a relationship, I want you to look at your relationship, look at your friends. If you have
Your
children,
children.
I want you to look at your children, and we want to challenge you guys to take some time and try to figure out, 1, what's your love language, and 2, what's your partner's love language.
And
And
if
I
you
share
have-
them in the comments with
Yes,
us. We
and
wanna see
if
them.
you have a bunch, prioritize them.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'll be shopping for my kids this weekend.
I will be.
Gifts are coming!
All right, you guys,
happy Friday!
join us on Valentine's Day. You are not going
Yeah.
to be alone. We are here for you, and we're going to be talking all about
And
self-love.
Minnie Mouse says goodbye!
Have a great weekend, everyone.